Attention, citizens. It's time for Super Pulp Science.
This is Super Pulp Science, where we talk about how genre gets made. I am GMB Kamichuk, Gregory to my friends. I am a working writer and illustrator. I am joined by my long-suffering co-host, Justin Curry, known the world over as Chasing Artwork, and producer extraordinaire, Dan Vadeboncoeur.
Hello.
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 We all have some hot goss, it sounds like.
I don't.
You don't?
I don't think so.
Sure you do.
Maybe I'll come up with something.
You got up bright and early from a text from a
Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay,
from
we'll
a
talk about
handsome man who prompted
that. I
you
don't know
to
about that.
spring out
I
of
have
bed.
no evidence that it was a handsome person.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh, is this the writing prompt?
This is right. And Justin has some hot goss from a show. The names will be changed to protect the innocent. And if you
And
listen,
the guilty.
And the guilty. Dan, did we post last episode last?
It'll be up.
It's coming? Okay,
Yeah.
so if you listened to last episode, you may have heard me a little hot under the collar about some client work. I would like to go on record to say that I have plumbed the depths of my immortal soul. I have meditated on the subject, and I have realized that in order to create a good project, the project must come first. And I have started to internalize this idea each time one of those notes for a change comes through. And by doing that, it's stopped me from thinking negatively about the committee and positively about the project itself. And so this is a tangible, I think, workaround for those of you who have been ground down to a little nub because of over notes in a project, to remind yourself that the project should come first if you've agreed to do the project. Mm-hmm. And having gone through that dark tea time of my soul, I've come out the other side stronger, I believe. But also it made me realize that projects like Dragon Nanny or the one we're working on now, Oldest Salt, Strong as the Sea, I have no trouble changing anything forever on projects that I am totally committed to from the beginning. And the difference is I've been there from the beginning. So I think I understand what I'm protecting.
Or is it maybe that other people haven't been there from the beginning and therefore you're not as open to their feedback?
Well, what I was going to say, both are true, I think, in self-criticism. Having come into a project where I'm not the one who's holding the core safe, keeping the little flame protected, right? I'm the outside wind.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I've realized now that it must have been my ego talking when I would get annoyed. And so I've been thinking of that each time one of those notes comes through, and it's been a lot better. Whereas when Justin creates a enormous substantive change in a project that we've initiated together, he's keeping the little core flame perfect.
There's trust there.
And I know
well.
that is what he's doing because I know what it is. He doesn't have to explain it to me. And so when the wind blows, it doesn't affect. Like I'll let everything change except that little thing, which I know he's holding also. So
does it kind of every so often a client will have a last minute change, and same thing, like ego will rear up and hair will bristle, but then when I do it, it makes the project better. It makes me like,
in this case, I can I can't be objective because I'm involved. I can unobjectively state that the last sort of 50 changes I've made in this particular work haven't changed it or made it substantively different as far as I can tell.
That's a different beast, yeah.
But I also think that this is the point here, as far as I can tell. But I'm not the one defending the flame. Right?
Is that a normal amount of changes to have in a project like this?
I didn't think so.
I was just gonna say, seems high. Seems a bit high. But I mean, I don't know. It depends on
it's high for me.
Okay.
It's high for me. And maybe that's the other part of my ego is I'm used to sticking the landing. Right? It's like there's always the Russian judge in this case. That's everyone else is scoring a 9 and someone's like 3.4.
Yeah.
Right? 2 at most. Redo, right? Something like that is going on every time.
You were looking for that. There's that great sigh of relief when you hand in a project and you're not sure exactly how many changes the client is going to come back with, and they come back with, Yeah, looks great. Let's
Looks great.
keep
Oh
going.
my
Like,
gosh.
oh my God.
I got that for the first time in like 2 months on this project for a thing that I handed in, and but then I'll also give some credit. Just having this squirrel running through the.
No, I was just moving. I realized I left my cup there last week, and I left a mark on your desk. So I'm sorry.
On this antique, turn of the century, Victorian. Those words don't actually mean anything. Right? I'm making a collage of nonsense right now.
Yeah, anyway, sorry about that. I'm sure I can fix it. I'll buff it out.
I wanted to say that Lyndon Redchenka, friend of the podcast,
New cat dad,
Meatball. And sufferer of the studio, has also pointed out that one of our mutual favorite scenes in the ancient show Mad Men, where someone is like, how come you never say thank you? And he says, that's what the money is for.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know.
He's kind of an asshole about it, though. He really is. Like, it can be nice and still give them money.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I get it. But I'm also not under the same kind of pressure that they are. Right. And I'm also not keeping the flame safe. I'm the wind in this case. So if you listened to last episode and you thought I was uncharacteristically salty, I also think I was uncharacteristically salty upon reflection. And I spent some time, once I went on the record being annoyed, I realized, like, is that really me?
This is a great ad for the last podcast.
This is just, it's also just a, nice backpedaling going on here.
Yeah. A little bit, yeah. In my new role as politician of the podcast, I would like to retract my previous statement.
Would it be all right if you came back tomorrow?
Why don't you just sit down?
No, I'm fine.
Let me make you some tea.
I don't think I had lunch, that's all.
There are some things you can't take back. Justin, fresh from the road, the dust and wear, his windblown hair, he has returned to us through the air. From which convention?
Odafest.
Okay, I was going to say, or should we change that name too?
No.
From Odafest.
Calgary's Odafest.
Tell us about Odafest, and then I'll ask you some scathing questions.
Well, first, like an interesting thing for people who do conventions, we just got back from the Calgary Comic Expo. 4-day event, huge event, like 100,000 people.
At the end of April, right?
The end of April. Yeah. Really big show for us. So it's the middle of May. I go back to the same city for their anime show. And originally, I would have thought, like, this is a terrible idea. You just did a big show there. You're going to see the same people. It's still, like, it's a convention. It's a different category, but you're going to see the same people. You're not going to have a great show because you were just there. And that is not the case at all between Comic-Cons and anime shows. It is a completely different audience. Sure, there was, like, 1 or 2 people who saw me at another show, but it is 99% a different crowd. People who go to anime conventions don't necessarily go to Comic-Cons and vice versa. So it was a really, really good show, and it's right on the heels of just being in Calgary.
Okay. I've just looked it up. There are 1.3 million people who live in Calgary. Mm-hmm. So even if every one of those 100,000 people at the Calgary Expo had come to your show, which they didn't, right? That'd only be 10%, less than 10%.
Yeah. I think what he's trying to say is that a more focused show gets a different, like some anime fans will go to a bigger con, a general con, because they know there's going to be some, but they also like the other things. They like the Star Trek and the other Star Wars and all this stuff. So these are for people who don't like all that stuff and just like anime. And there's a lot of people like that. Nerddom is becoming more specialized.
It is.
And so people really drill into their fandom.
Tattoo conventions. There's furry conventions. There's supernatural conventions. There used to be brony cons. I think those
that's
still going.
They're still going? Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Sure. Anyways, but like we used to, like same thing in Winnipeg. Winnipeg has a big convention. They have a big anime show. And like I've heard, comments from other artists like, oh, I'm just going to do the big one. Like, and it feels like the undertone of that is I don't want to do like 2 shows in the same city. It's going to be the same audience. It'll be the same people, but it is completely different. So if you're kind of new to doing conventions, keep in mind that, like anime conventions are completely different beasts than Comic-Cons. And that was something that we kind of just learned from doing, but interesting, fun fact.
So you had a good show.
It was a great show. Yeah. Great crowd, great people. This was, I stayed with friend of the podcast, Quirkylicious. There was a couple artists staying at his house, and we had, like, the convention was good. The hangout, the meals, and the fun that we had after was, like, top tier. It was the funnest weekend. The last night it was Drake's girlfriend's birthday, and we stayed up late playing Mario Kart and Mario Party and drinking soju, which is like a weak Korean rice wine that's like it's very fruity and very easy to drink. And I had to get up for like 4 a.m. to catch a flight, but I stayed up till 1:30 playing video games and drinking with friends because it was just so worth it.
So you were still lighter than air when you took the flight.
I was okay. Yeah, I had a nap. Yeah, I was not asleep. It was a nap, and yeah.
That sounds like a great time.
It was so much fun. Although I feel like I missed that part of growing up, which a lot of people had, of getting really good at Mario Kart and Mario Party.
Yeah,
it was never part of my gaming history.
It's deep down in my core memories, getting good at Mario Kart.
Yeah, like everybody who plays was at one time or another a pro, and I've never played enough to really even figure it out.
I haven't either. I'll be honest. Yeah, I was a Sega kid first of all. Genesis can.
Yeah.
Is that how it goes? No, Genesis does with Nintendo. So we didn't have the Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And then it just, I would play, but I would always lose, and I still lose regularly to my children. So
yeah.
I'm going to wash my hands of it.
Well, and every version of it is like, if you've played an older Mario Party, like a lot of the games still carry over to the new one.
Yeah.
So like if you got good at one of them, you still have a really good handle on the newer ones. And I just felt like every time I play that game, I feel so left behind because everybody who, there's just
those red shells are just coming at you out of nowhere.
No, it's the
blue shells. Those red shells make you go faster.
That was a test, Dan.
Or no, the mushrooms make you go faster. Red shells, you just huck.
The blue shell is like huck it from the end of the line and it hits the person in the lead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the.
Well, I'm never in the lead. I'm never.
But the red shell does hunt the person in front of you.
Yes, that's true. Yes. Yeah. Now that we've established
right, and I'm always second, so I don't need the blue shell necessarily. I just need.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
That's how I'd take first. I'd wait until the moment my friend Gary Grumman would be about to cross the finish line.
And
then I'd hit him with the red shell, and then I'd cross. And he'd know I'd hold on to that red shell and get in behind him, and he would just swear at me and get so mad because he knew it was coming.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And really, those of you wondering what's the deal with Mario Kart, it's about spitefully ruining your friend's good time in the service of all of your good times.
That's true.
Right? Now, on that topic, spitefully ruining a friend's good time, you've got some hot gossip from the show. I'm going to name the people so that you have names to use.
I'm going to forget the
so
names
that you
halfway
don't know.
Through the story.
We're going to call them...
Artist A and Artist B.
Yeah. Well, I was going to... Okay, sure. Artist A. Let's call them Artist and Plagiarist.
All right, okay. So, got talking to a friend of mine that I haven't seen in a while at the show, and they told me this story came up that there was a friend of theirs who also wanted to get into art and doing conventions and all that stuff, and came to help them at a show. So, Artist A and Artist B, Artist and Plagiarist, were hanging out.
A and Artist P.
P, yeah. A and P were hanging out at Artist A's table, and they were having a good convention, helping out, all this good stuff. Artist A went to the bathroom, and when Artist A came back, saw that Artist P was taking pictures of this sheet that Artist A was keeping track of all their prints with. So it was basically their breakdown of what was the best seller, what wasn't selling, what was working, what wasn't. It was kind of their cheat sheets of like,
Well, that's good on them for keeping that information. Holy crap.
But notice that, like Artist P was documenting this.
Oh, wow.
And didn't think, like, kind of, set off a bit of a red flag, but didn't think too much of it. Artist P's a friend after all. And then next year, Artist P sets up a table that looks very much similar to Artist A's table. Basically copied their homework like word for word. Same color scheme, same content, same fandoms,
compositions you were
stuff
saying
like
too?
So I'm listening to this story, and I've heard stories like this before. I'm like, okay, I wonder like how much they actually copied them. Maybe they're just inspired by them. Who knows? But
and
Saturday,
let me just make an aside here that some artists, and I have been present. A dinner I went to in New York Comic Con comes to mind, where some A-list artists from Marvel and DC were very upset at another artist for aping their style or their composition. And when you put the pages side by side, perhaps all they were, quote unquote, copying was the rhythm of the storytelling. But to hear them tell it, it sounded like
they traced it.
They had photocopied it and handed it in as their own work. And so artists can be, and I think you were right to be a little suspicious, artists can be very protective and very triggered by anything that seems like it came from them. And you cannot throw a rock into the roster of Marvel and DC writers who will say, oh, that new event book that's out now that's selling crazy, that was my idea that I gave to an editor 7 years ago. Right? How close it actually is, who knows? Right?
Creatives are very dramatic.
Yeah, we can be quite dramatic.
Everything I've done for you. Don't you understand that? The people you hated, I hated.
What I love about like being an artist and having a style is like Gregory and I can both do, and we both have done like, you know, fan art of like the same properties. Like we have some Star Wars stuff,
put our
and we
thing
have some Star
pieces
Trek
side by
stuff,
side.
our thing pieces, and good lord, like there couldn't be a bigger ocean of difference between the two. It's based off the same source material. We're drawing from the same things, but like our vision and our voice is so different. And we've
Shout out
talked
to
about
Printed in Blood, who did the thing book that we love.
like
dearly to
every
this
time we
day.
do a Printed in Blood piece, it's all coming from the same idea, but so different.
On that in itself is just evidence that so many different things can come from one thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Printed
Yeah,
in blood,
yeah.
all of the stuff they do.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like this artist day comes out and catches this person taking photos. Is this like a book they have behind their table?
I think it was just a spreadsheet and like, you
on
know,
the computer.
no, just like printed out.
Oh, okay. It's weird to
And-
leave that stuff lying around, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
Well, because it's only good to one
I
person.
guess you only kind of you keep track of it while
Yeah.
you're selling. Oh, that one's sold. Okay, check mark that one's sold, and you're like, it's real time. So I get
Yeah.
that. So I wonder if there was a conversation when she came out and said, "Why are you taking a photo of that?" The kind of thing, or did she just not say anything and that's
Yeah.
it? I don't know why I'm
they're
I'm not
very-
attributing gender to these people. I don't know why I'm saying she.
They are very anti-confrontation.
Okay. Yeah,
So I
that's
think
the
like
answer.
there could have like had it been different people, there could have been a bit
I feel
of
like
a
if Justin saw me taking pictures of a spreadsheet on his computer, he'd probably be like, "What the fuck?"
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, but if it's like, you know, it was just on the table and this person was just kind of casually like snapping and maybe he wasn't even sure if that's what they were taking a photo of. Like there could have been some miscommunication there. So I get that. But I wonder if there were more conversations about, you know, what they did and their strategy and if there's more to it than just copying this.
I think artist P mined artist A for information and like we're you know happy to share our tips and tricks and what worked for us.
Like this whole podcast
but
is
we
about it.
really want people to kind of find their own way and do their own things. If they again like copy our homework word for word, then that's crossing that to me is crossing a bit of a line. Like I am super happy to help and point you in directions of things that worked for me and things that didn't, but if you try to do exactly what worked for me, then I don't think we're going to be friends anymore.
Yeah. Oh, and like if you, I don't know, draw from the same inspirations. Like, for example, in my own portfolio, I have a big set of prints that are obviously inspired by 40s propaganda and 20s, well, really 1914 war
Nobody cares
propaganda.
but you, Greg.
Yeah.
Right? But what I'm saying is, so does Nico Rudolph. He has a whole set of prints that are like that. But whereas I
His
put
involve bears.
exactly my point. His are all these really clever bear puns, and mine are weird war. Right. So
Right.
we're both looking at the same thing and we're inspired. So if you were to be casual, you might look at see our two booths together and say, "Oh, are those guys the same?" But when you look closely, you realize they're not.
And the cool thing is that as somebody who likes that type of art can buy one of yours and one of Nico's and have them both on the wall.
And many do.
Exactly. It looks awesome.
This is why I'm so aware of it, even because we were just on the road and Nico wasn't on the road with us. And so lots of people who buy my work also usually have his and ask where he is and what's he doing and how do they get in touch with him. So I sent some stuff his way that way.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. So this is all to say, this is to set the scene for chapter 2 of our story. That
Is-
sometimes artists blow it out of proportion and it's not a big deal. We can be inspired by the same thing and produce different work. That must be what happened, right?
Right,
Justin?
yeah. So I finally had a chance to walk the floor, and in the back of my mind, it's like, oh, I got to try to find this other artist who's taken a lot of inspiration from artist A. And I come across this table. It's like, oh, it's artist A. Look at their booth. It looks good. And then I look closer, and no, this is not artist A's table. This is artist P's table. if anything, they undersold it. This person, like, color scheme, composition, fandoms, like, it, like, 1-to-1 looked at what artist A was doing and, like, redid it.
Ooh.
Yeah, like, it was like I stopped in my tracks and, like, it was like a slap. Holy crap. And they were across the aisle from artist A at this show.
Oh, no.
So then it becomes a problem. And then so I went over to artist A. He's like, holy crap, like, you were not kidding. That looks exactly like the stuff that you do.
Okay, be exact. Like, composition is actually the same.
So artist A has this one, and I'm gonna change the details. They have a series of prints inspired by a country in a very simple color scheme. They're black and blue and white. Like, it's very monotone, and it's very, like, lots of brush strokey kind of stuff. Artist P did a whole series of blue and black and white brushy thing. Like, saw that print series and did their own. Yeah.
Huh.
Like, super, like, enough that I thought that organizers should get involved and there should be a conversation. This is not
what happens. Is that, like, when does do you guys know of this kind of thing happening where it's been this?
Oh my
exact?
gosh! What?
So that's
muddy
where it
water,
comes into a muddy gray area.
Yeah.
Because if it's mostly like, I don't know the person in question.
First of all, it's anime. Anime kind of all looks the same. Sorry, don't at me.
Oh,
Some of it,
Ouch.
that's the thing. Some of it's
Let's
original
at
as
him.
well. It's original
Dear
art.
listeners, let's at him.
There's a style. It's a style that everybody follows. Anime, right? Is it not? Would you not say that?
That's like saying all European food is the same.
There's flavors.
Oh
in
my
there, yeah.
goodness, you guys!
Well,
No,
that's
no,
not
no.
true. That's
Oh
not
my
true at
gosh.
all. That's not like saying that.
It
There's
is like
lots
saying
of
that.
flavors of
You
anime.
just reduced an entire culture to a single.
I
note.
just let me rephrase. All the anime that I have seen looks the same to me.
You have to, once you get into the culture, you start to,
Let's quantify that through the eyes of the viewer, from the point of view of Dan Vadeboncoeur.
So I would probably think more than one booth looks the same. But if you're saying it's color scheme and stuff, all that stuff is going to be.
It is to the point where customers will buy from artist P and then come to artist A saying, "Oh, I just bought your stuff." Like,
Right.
"Oh, can you?"
They think it's like two different booths. Of the
They
same
think
person.
it's this. Yeah. Like, it is that fucking close.
yeah, that's not good.
It's like if Nico stopped doing conventions, you decided the bear thing was working, I'm going to do the bear
All
thing.
bears.
And
Not if
started
not.
taking credit
Not
for...
if Nico stopped doing conventions, though.
Yeah, it'd be
Nico's
worse
across
if
the
I
hall.
did it
Yeah,
as
yeah.
bears. Like, if I suddenly switched to bears.
World War Bears.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he's doing.
I
He
guess
does.
that's it. So
yeah.
you're doing weird bears.
No, yeah. If I did
World War
weird
Weird
bears,
Bears.
and he did, or if he has another thing
There's dinosaurs,
called
too.
Ghost Richard.
Yeah.
And
Ghost Richard.
if I started, it's Ghost Dick actually. But if I
would
started
love
doing,
to see your take on Ghost Dick.
if I
think that'd be
did
hilarious.
Ghost Richard or
Yeah.
Ghost Johnson,
To the
right.
point where people confused you
Yeah.
too. Like,
Well, that
fans
would
of
be-
his
that would
thought
be
that you... Yes.
because he's very much made that his thing.
Yeah.
But so what happens in this case? Is this person going to be drummed out of the industry? Are they going to be like
No, nothing will
snob?
happen.
Nothing's going to happen. Yeah. Like, I got all angry on this artist's behalf. I'm like, we got to do something. But, like, what do you do? Like, what is there to do?
I would think that it will hopefully play out like they won't sell as much stuff because it isn't original, because it looks too close to this
that
other person's.
assumes that the audience cares. For the
Well,
most part, consumers.
I feel
do
like a
not
lot of
care.
the stuff sorts itself out in the wash, kind of thing. Like the lower quality stuff will fall, and the higher quality stuff rises. up,
Say
right?
that to the Betamax.
to the what?
To the
well,
Betamax.
that's the exception.
You just should have asked first.
But I wanted it to be a surprise.
Can I have consulting marketplace, please?
This feels so good on my neck. I didn't think you'd mind.
It's very interesting you mentioned a Betamax because I have been getting into the world of collecting VHS tapes. Beta tapes are very difficult to find.
Yeah.
And it's a huge collector's market.
It's an underground.
Oh man, my grandmother had a Betamax. It was awesome.
People are collecting VHS tapes now?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, because they're physical media that isn't being produced.
Remember, we were just having a
And so-
conversation before we started about not being able to watch the movies you want to watch on
Yeah.
streaming because they're not available. Well, own it on VHS. Well, DVD. I own DVDs.
In my misspent youth, I actually regret it now, Dan, that I heard you say this. But it's the hoarder in me that would have kept them. But now I realize I could have given them to you. But I was part owner of a video distribution company
Right.
in my misspent youth. And when we bought it, we inherited the vault of dead tapes, which was a huge room of every B and C movie you can imagine in science fiction, fantasy, or otherwise, in just dusty old VHSs. And I skimmed some gold out of there just to watch myself, like Hawk the Slayer and things like that. But they're gone.
That
now.
would have been awesome. I worked at Blockbuster Video during the transition to DVD, so I was like unboxing all these DVDs and putting little protecting stickers on them and putting them on the shelves and that kind of stuff. So we sold off. I actually remember selling off our entire anime section at Blockbuster Video.
The VHSs,
yeah. Absolutely, because we just replaced it all with DVD.
I bought Bubblegum Crisis set from Blockbuster.
Yeah.
To watch
Robots and ladies.
Yeah, lady robots. Yeah, well, ladies wearing robot suits to hunt mad cyborgs.
But when they get out of those robot suits...
I just liked it for the articles.
Oh my god, that actually was something I
all
was.
Right, I was 17 already. Of course,
I was. The booth across from me had a big cutout of an anime girl in a very lewd pose, and like it seemed like everybody who walked by me the first hour of this convention had bought something that polite company would frown upon.
That's what explains the text.
And I was second guessing my artistic integrity at this show for a while because it seemed like all that was selling around me was boobs.
Well, that's a good percentage of the anime. I'm sorry, generalizing about anime,
yeah,
but that is
okay.
I do see that.
We'll open the show with a slight disclaimer that Dan Vadeboncoeur's views on anime do not reflect those of the entire podcast staff.
As a father of kids who watch anime a lot, I just kind of take in what they see, and I am familiar. As I said, we rented it at Blockbuster, so I did watch like the old school stuff, Macross and all that back in the day.
Macross,
but yeah, I just feel like there is a lot of that boob stuff for sure.
Fan service.
Yeah, absolutely. Fan service, exactly.
Fan service.
Yeah.
Did anyone go to Artist P and talk to them directly about
I
what
wanted
happened?
to. I really wanted to. I was there solo. This was a show that I probably need two people to do. It's that busy. It's that steady. But I was kind of locked at my table the whole time. And I set up my booth in a way that it kind of really locked me in, and there was no clear exit because I wanted to take up as much room as possible.
Couldn't float around.
Which I'm sure, Gregory, you can. Yeah, you do that often too. We construct our ziggurats to be unescapable. So I actually had to go through. Shout out to Johnny Cox. I would go back behind my booth and into his because he had an exit to
Johnny's
get out.
A good person.
Yeah.
But
so what do you say to that person? What do you say?
Well, my question would be direct. Is this not just a copy of that work right there across the aisle? Like if that is the thing that people are afraid to say is the thing you should say directly.
And and they're going to be taken aback by it. They're not going to be expecting it because nobody would dare question their integrity.
That's a confrontation. Like,
if the proof is literally 15, 25 feet away,
you wouldn't be more subtle about it.
What's the point of the subtlety?
How about this? Hey, that work looks kind of like yours. You think that person might be copying you?
See, now you're just playing games. If you're trying to get it,
I would do that probably. I'd want to have fun with it because I don't know what's a good end result there. Making the person feel bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and making them stop doing it, or at least try to do more original. I would try to have a conversation around I think you should stretch out and do your own thing. You would be more successful.
Like if you're good enough. Here's the other thing. Let me ask you a question. Now, you're going to have to separate your preference for Artist A from the following. Was Artist P's work good?
So if Artist A is at 100%, Artist P, I want to say, is like 65%. So it's definitely not the quality. It's not as good, but they haven't been doing it as long. They haven't copied as many pieces yet.
So, but even 65% of an established art, if you can hit 65% of the mark copying, you can hit 100% of the mark on your own work.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Right? Like they have the skill to copy it that closely. They have the skill to make up their own thing.
I feel like Artist P is trying to fast forward their to jump
That's
ahead.
it. Yeah, they saw a successful business plan.
Like we were talking. It's funny because Lyndon said this last episode, which I was just editing. And he said you look at people you admire and you copy what they're doing. Not literally, literally, like copy what you see them doing as far as their business strategy and stuff like that.
In martial arts, it can be called a kata, like a thing, like a form that you practice, right? So if Justin learns it and I learn it, how we execute it in the moment is going to be different because the moment dictates difference, right? So you could both learn Mantis style or whatever it is, right? But the moment is going to dictate the difference in how you use it. So it doesn't matter if a person trains the same way or, frankly, copies until they learn it. That's how you learn a kata. You copy. But then the instant where you have to now combine it with the moment is what makes it art.
Or even the instant you try to make money off of it.
Yeah.
Right? That's
well, and here's the other side of it.
Fandom, right?
Yeah. They're just trying to cash in.
But it wasn't all fandom. It was the original series, like based, like kind of fan art of like a country's art, kind of, you know, yeah. So it wasn't just all fandoms. It was original series of paintings as well.
So they were copying an artist's original work, not fan art.
Not just
the
fan
concept.
art. Both. Yeah, the concept, the style, the composition, the color scheme, and like one-to-one color scheme. Like they clearly brought artist A's palette into their document and copied the palette.
This is just like Jurassic Park when they look at what the person had done before and
put in a little frog DNA.
Stood on their
round
shoulders.
It out. Yeah.
Stood on the shoulders of those that came before you, but didn't. What's the line? Oh, you were so excited to see that you could, you didn't stop to think that you should.
Yeah.
Thinking you should. Something like that. Jeff Goldblum, love it.
Jeff Goldblum.
That's the same kind of thing. Like you didn't
Another
actually do the
Jeff
work.
Goldblum line that applies here is that's a huge pile of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's but if you don't do the work to actually learn the skills and get better at it, you're not going to be as successful as someone like you who did do that.
And yeah,
or artist A.
The worst part of all this is artist A is just such a sweet person and doesn't do confrontation that they just let it happen. And you know,
I think probably most people would wait and see with that. As the artist being copied, I don't think anybody else is going to step in on their behalf. Unless they ask them to.
But, like, is it worth sending a note? Like, for you, for example, is it worth sending a note
to the organizer?
Paraphrased as follows. You know, I'm chasing artwork. I do this work, as you well know. I've been following this other artist's work for a long time. I think they're the sweetest person. I think they avoid confrontation. And because I know they will avoid confrontation, here's something I think you should know about that they should bring up to you. I would ask them first.
Yeah.
No, you shouldn't take on someone else. You shouldn't champion someone else's cause without...
But if that comes from me and like a couple of our other friends who are equally outraged,
Yeah.
you know, like getting one email like that, who knows if anything is going to happen. If they get 3 emails
Yeah.
like that from big artists in the show...
Yeah. From people who have routinely booked, and it's, you know, you got the only way to make a show listen is to hit them on the spreadsheet, as it were.
Don't make me come get you!
One thing that really annoyed me about this show is the last couple of years, I have too much stuff to do an artist alley table. They only have, you got 6 feet. There's a height cap, like it's a pretty small space. So I always get a vendor's table facing the artist alley, which gives me 2 tables at a corner or 2 tables in a straight line. The tables that I've had the last couple of years got replaced, and so I was in the back row. It was fine. It was still a good spot. But by a huge RBC booth.
Ugh.
Like, front and center, facing the artist alley, primo spot, Royal Bank of Canada with a weird, like a Japanese backdrop to take pictures.
What are they trying to do?
They're trying to just promote the bank.
Like bank services.
Yeah, like it was.
And they didn't even say thank you for the spot, Justin. That's what the money is for.
Well, that just comes back to like non-fandom related things being at conventions, which you've seen before.
It's just, it was just one of the best spots in the show was given to a big, faceless corporate.
Probably paid a lot of money for that spot.
Well, they probably paid the same the rest of us did. I hope they at least sponsored and gave them more money. Yeah, but they took 2 big tables away from local vendors or artists to promote a greedy corporation.
I think it's a missed opportunity for RBC to do something really cool. If you're going to do that, really lean into it and have some fun with it and make a cool, like, interactive thing or
they had
Justin
a
to
backdrop
decorate your
thing.
booth.
They had,
exactly.
they tried,
yeah,
but it
engage
was
a local artist to create your booth. That would be great. Yeah.
No.
But they wouldn't, because they'd have to get it approved by a committee.
Yeah, not just one, probably at least 3.
Oh my goodness, that's right. This won't be the. You do a lot of shows in the anime world. This won't be the last time.
I really don't actually. I do like 2.
You used to do more, didn't you?
You tried a few, haven't you?
So I've done the Winnipeg one, I've done Vancouver one, I've done the Toronto one once because it's lottery. The thing with anime shows is the artist alley are always very small tables and they are so goddamn hard to get because it's all lottery and first come first serve, and anime artists are on top of that. So if
Wait,
you are
you're
not,
saying they keep it fair?
they keep it fair, but like if you do not
How
have a
dare
fast internet connection and are clicking within a microsecond of tables going on, you have no chance.
Right.
And so I'm never on top of, because there's quite a few.
Yeah.
I never am on top of like when to sign up and am ready on the ball. And like a lot of people, when they're signing up, they will have like 4 computers going at the same time
Just
and
so
all
that-
clicking.
Just so the dear listener knows, the local anime show Icon is like that. And
Yes.
there's 4 or 5 of us who have successfully vended a number of years at it. But it's the same thing. It's by lottery and it's by first come first serve. And so we'll keep each other. It's this weekend. Don't forget Saturday at whatever you got.
Sign up.
And we're all texting each other and reminding each other. And I don't think I could handle that kind of pressure for like 10 shows a year. There's no way.
Yeah, and like friends of ours do like that's
Primarily.
it's all animation. So there's and there's quite a few really good ones in the States that I've always just heard nothing but great things about, and I've never done. And I was kind of looking at my schedule this year, and it's all kind of familiar faces. And maybe for next year, I'd like to try to be new at some shows.
I don't know if this was pre-pandemic, but I remember last time I drove through Saskatoon, there was an anime show happening.
Blitz or something?
I don't remember what it was called. It was in July, I think. And this is again pre-pandemic, so that looked like a cool show. I really wanted to go. I'm like, I wish you could stop and stay here so I could check that out. Like, I like to see. I want to do more of like seeing what conventions in other cities are like.
And different kinds of conventions. I walked through a lawn and garden convention on the way here.
On the way here?
On the way here, I was walking past the
Did they have some
convention
really
center
impressive setups?
Oh, yes, yeah.
And there was 10 or maybe as many as 20 circular saws all running in demonstrations outside.
Wow.
And like all kinds of people like really interested in the variations on speed differentials of a circular saw.
There's
I
a
made that up.
convention
I
for
don't know if
anything.
that's...
There's a convention for every possible thing.
It's wild times. It's wild times. I was going to say something related to anime shows and signing up, and it was so profound.
I'm sure it was.
I'm sure it was.
It's lost to the ether. Oh, no, I know what it is. Different shows, new places. We're going to try some tattoo conventions.
All right.
I think is the idea. There's at least 2 that I'm looking at.
Am I going to see the GMB Can We Check banner up on B-roll again at my CTV?
Probably.
Every time a camera comes back from some show, I'm like, oh, there he is, right in the back there in the corner.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
I had some people who take pictures and text me shots from their televisions saying like, ooh, you're on TV again, but just in the background. I was like, that's because I have not committed a crime worthy of the front thing. But what I was going to say is, you and I both have had our work stolen, quote unquote, by tattoo artists, and it doesn't bother us. So what would be the difference?
Well,
do you think that's different if a tattoo artist sees your work, puts it on someone's body, and then they proudly come up to you and say, look, here you go. I took your work.
The equivalence would be if I was a tattoo artist and you look through my book of tattoos and then like put that in your portfolio. These are tattoos that I can do. Original designs by GMB.
Tattoo artists.
Yeah.
Now, there's a name for that board. What's that board? You learned it just recently.
No, well, flash tattoos are quick. Flash tattoos, we learned this term at the Saskatoon Expo, are they'll have a big board of like simple designs, and it was like there's $75 you can get this tattoo, $100 you can get this tattoo, $150 you can get this, and they're all preset designs that are just ready to go.
They're like what the person can do quickly,
Yeah.
easily, and efficiently and professionally.
What kind of stuff was on there?
It was all nerd based because it was a Comic-Con.
Like a Cobra Commander symbol?
Or whatever, yeah. But what I would notice is that they were not more complex than the things that you and I give for free in our books that we draw. The difference is that they weren't permanently embedded on people's flesh forever.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. So at the Saskatoon convention, across from me was a booth of like 4 tattoo tables and 4 tattoo artists. And they had their little flash boards up, and they were not taking appointments ahead of time. So nobody had looked at their portfolios and pre-booked. But the entire 3-day convention, all 4 of those tattoo tables were full like the entire time.
Wow.
So that means people were coming up, looking at the board, and like within a 5 to 10 minutes, we're laying down getting that tattoo.
I'll take Pikachu. I'll take Cobra Commanders.
Yep. I can totally see it.
I was a little blown away by the impulsiveness of some of these.
I think
people.
These people are seemingly impulsive, but it's probably something they've been turning around for a long time.
I hope so.
And that that's it. That's what I want. Let's do it. Boom. And it feels so good to make that kind of decision like that. I think it feels like a just an impulse.
Till the needles start.
Permanent mark in my body. But I think they like that. It's part of the thrill of getting a tattoo.
I think also worth mentioning, all 4 tattoo artists were very pretty girls in cosplay.
That also helps drive
I
customers.
think that might have helped some of the decisions.
But I would do that. I would totally do. I don't have any tattoos.
I would just like
You guys
to
have
say
tattoos?
that no, I have no tattoos. That Chasing Artworks summation of what works and doesn't work to a tattoo artist does not represent the general ideas of the Super Pulp Science staff.
How
or
safe
community.
You guys can't deny that tactic works at every convention you go to. Someone. Anyway. That's interesting. I think tattoos are on the rise. Popularity in tattoos are rising. I know it's always been popular, but I think they're going up again more and more. It's more and more common for someone to have, it's not as frowned upon as it used to be to have a sleeve of tattoos.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of a...
It used to be just the Yakuza, and now anyone can have it.
But talking about taking your art and putting it on a person's body, it's presumably okay because it's their body, right? They're putting an image on their body permanently, so you should feel honored that they put your art on their body.
So if anybody steal your artwork and hang it on my wall, it's my wall. Shouldn't you feel honored?
No. That's true. So you think that they should pay you for
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. What I'm saying is I agree with you. I am honored. It's weird, right? that I'm honored by it. But by the same token, if someone copies it for a piece of paper, I'm upset.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those.
I think it's a tattoo. It's just for the person. It's not.
But a tattoo artist is getting paid good money to trace
more
your
than
art
you got paid
onto
probably for that drawing in the first place.
Yeah, but that's because it's the work of doing the tattoo that they're getting paid for, maybe. Right? They can pretty much do any design as long as they basically do trace it, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
Don't they?
What a lot of them
we have
they'll
a
come
friend
up
of a
with the art.
podcast who is now a tattoo artist.
Edrin.
So we should bring Edrin on to discuss this.
Okay.
And how he feels about bringing clients bringing in I want you to trace the design. I don't want you to do your interpretation of it. I want this 1-to-1 on my foot, on my back. Don't change it.
Biceps.
Yeah. Then you're just a tracer.
Yeah.
And we all know how we feel about tracers.
I think it's great. You should trace if you got it.
You knew it was me. Come on. You knew. And you didn't care.
So, as we move into, it might seem like summertime for everybody, but summer is leading up into the busy convention time. Like September, October, November is pretty busy, at least on my schedule coming up. So there's this sort of small lull where there's just a few things happening this summer where, at least for me, and then it's busy time. So what are some things that you want to be different coming forward into the new convention, into the busy season?
What do I want to change about?
Yeah, not just about your booth, but maybe about your attitude towards art, because we've been mostly talking about our attitudes about what counts and what doesn't, and what our practice is, and how you get good at something. What are some new horizons for you?
So one thing that was kind of exciting at this show, I don't have as much new work this year because I've been working hard on my new book, Spark Chasers. And I got to tell some people, people would ask what I've been up to, and I would gush about the book. And the book is, it's like a fake strategy guide for a game that doesn't exist, and it's all set in this isometric grid, so it looks like an old video game, and assets are replaceable, and blah, blah, blah. And this pitch, when people knew what I was talking about, had grown up with strategy guides, had grown up playing classic RPGs, the excitement and light in their eyes was so... it just fired me up that I'm doing the right thing.
People really got it.
People got it. People clicked I understand what you're doing. I'm so excited for that.
I'm more interested in the people who didn't get it.
You could tell.
Did
They're just
drift off? Strategy guide for a video game.
Okay, even you're doing a graphic novel that's going to look like a video game. That's very accessible. The strategy guide part is usually more like an age thing. If they're closer to my age, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Younger people, strategy guides aren't a part of gaming like the way they used to be. So they still, kind of know what I'm talking about, but it doesn't click as hard. But I was thinking I need to get something at the booth, like some kind of like poster that stands up that talks about the project, that explains it, like a little
Table talk
coming soon.
Yeah.
Like, and we've never really done that. Like, once a book is out, we promote it hard at the table. But I was thinking about some kind of like a big coming soon poster with all the work in progress art and a little explanation of what it's going to be.
With a way to sign up for it if you want to be notified.
Yeah, something like that. A
Is
QR
there
code.
Is there a prominent main character?
Yeah.
Make a stand-up of cardboard cutout stand-up of that
Yeah,
character.
yeah.
Hey, join my adventures. I don't know what he says, but anyway, something like that.
It's a girl, and her name is Kella.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. So something like that, just show the person like this is, learn about what's happening.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
It was the not having new prints was outweighed by me getting to gush about the book and people really getting excited about it. Because gushing about like the other books, like, oh yeah, it's about a robot who finds dragons. Like that's cool. Like people were on board with all my other books, but this one is like clicking that nostalgia button harder,
Right.
and
Yeah.
people are getting more excited than other book projects.
So I have this little collection out right now, only available at shows.
Oh yeah,
And
talk about
it's
that.
Part of the Thistle Grimoire is what it's called. It doesn't actually have an official title, and there's no human language in the book at all. But how I describe it is a alien naturalist guide to an extra-dimensional invasion of the Earth and the subsequent discovery by humans of a meteorite that allows them to build weapons of resistance. That's if the people looking at the work have not
But that's
literally
the best
run away.
thing, because you don't describe it. You don't have any kind of like table talkers around. It's this weird corner of your booth that people are just drawn to. There's no English involved in this project at all, but people can't get enough of it. They just want it.
It's
Is it like an alien text or something?
Yeah.
So I made a text. I made a series. It's actually 4 languages because they're annotated. The text is old enough, or the manuscript is old enough that it's been annotated 3 times, and so there are different annotations. There are different annotations in the text in different languages, and you can tell that it's a different hand putting those marks in. But as I've been working on this, one of the ways in which I promote it is I put this big banner up that just has images from the book. And they're quite, I like to believe they are interesting without being grotesque, but that is not the universal response. Many people who see it are actually repelled from the booth. They see it and they just immediately do not want to know anything about it, and they don't want to have anything to do with my table, and they leave.
Wow. Way to go.
Conversely, there will be people who will see that banner from across the convention center and come marching as if a clarion call of weirdness has reached and touched their alien poet's heart, and they just look and their eyes trace it down to where I have a big portfolio of prints from the book, 12 by 18 versions of the same pages. And so then they start flipping through that, and then set up beside it is a little stack. They're very small, these little like collections, a little stack of those hardcover books, volumes with their red ribbons and their nice end papers. And I have the rest of my booth has table talkers, clearly says what things are, how much they cost, who made them. This is the opposite of that. There is no acknowledgement of it as a product at all. And the people who get it, kind of like your strategy guide idea, get it so deeply. What I'm trying to do with it is like make a weird text that if you stare at it long enough, there is sense to be made of it, because I use certain pictographs in repetition to mean the names of certain things, certain phrases in repetition to mean the if you could make the noises that corresponded to them, they would be how you would invoke it or how you would protect against it. And the annotations that come later, which are like more Anglo-Saxon or more Norse, are related to symbols of protection and divination. And so you can kind of correlate what the good images are and what the bad ones are supposed to be if you give a shit to actually stare at it that long. And some people just love puzzles and love that weirdness. Everyone who has ever grown up watching science fiction, fantasy, reading fantasy novels has wanted to find in an old bookstore a dusty tomb of an alien language. It's what we've all wanted. At least that's what I believe.
I don't think I've ever thought about that.
Oh my God, Dan, I think about it all the time. And
I mean, what are the chances?
And every time I go into an old dusty bookstore, I think this will be my never-ending story moment. I'm going to find it here. And it doesn't happen. And so I realized maybe what I need to do is I need to start building this volume myself. And I reached out to a number of different publishers, and I got some really great feedback from actually all of them, and I got an offer to publish it on a couple of occasions. But the sticking point is I don't want to put a colophon. I don't want to put any acknowledgement. I don't want it to be ruined.
Like, you want the mystery to stay intact.
I don't want it to be ruined by a legal disclaimer. Like, I don't mind that people know I made it. I mind that the experience will be subverted by...
You need some good packaging.
The trappings of capitalism.
You just need some packaging for it. You need a little sleeve to put in.
So I made a little sleeve for it, but then I made that sleeve weird. Actually, I made this really evil-looking sleeve that I got a really funny response back from, because I contacted a company that makes wedding invitations. So you can put like a picture of the bride or the groom on the front, and then on the back where the seal of the envelope would go, you can put like your face.
And you sent them monsters.
And I sent them elements of this project.
What kind of wedding is this?
Right? And someone said, we are a wedding thing.
You're a printer. Print it.
Right? And I said, I know, but I didn't clarify. So as far as they know, they sent me hundreds of envelopes for like the evilest looking wedding invitations they have ever made, just so that
you're
I
on
could have
some
a nice
watch list somewhere for
a little slipcase for the book to go in. So when someone bought it, I had them wrapped and stamped so that they looked weird and like recovered in this like vellum. So if it was a gift, the person could peel it open and the book would be within. But if you bought one and I signed it for you, I had this other little envelope that it could go inside so you could take it away. I should also mention that hidden somewhere in a house, in a creepy basement corner of a house we stayed in, I also hid one of these books.
So that magic, the magic that you were talking about of finding it naturally in the wild, somebody's going to get
from
that.
Now,
yes,
that's
when the
be
drywall is being redone, someone is going to find this book wrapped up in cloth. Wonder.
I have to tell this. We have to wrap up soon, but I have to tell the story. When I was, I don't know, grade 1, 6 years old, I guess, we moved into a house, or the house I grew up mostly in. And my room was in the basement, so I was downstairs in the basement, kind of exploring, looking around it, and most of it was unfinished. It was most of concrete floors. And I found a little finger toy. It was this little creepy looking, those little rubber things you put on your finger.
Goblin
finger monsters.
And I'm like, I've never seen anything like this before. I'm like, this is just a blowing my mind kind of a toy. I'm like, what is this? I don't know why I'd never seen it. But it was so cool just to find that.
Because before the internet, things could be surprising.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't know the existence of everything. So I found this. I just thought it was the coolest thing finding it in this, and I wondered whose it was and what had happened to it and how it got there. So whoever finds that book is going to go through that, but it's going to be an alien. They're going to think it's alien.
Yeah. They'll either think it's beautiful or so evil, depending on
Speaking
how
of books with monsters, before we wrap up, Meathouse?
I just did that. We did a great session. Greg texted me. We wrote for 45 minutes. I got like 5 or 6 pages down.
7 a.m. I texted him.
Yeah. And it was great. I was focused, wrote. So I just have to do that multiple times.
If you're wondering what we're talking about, see previous episode, which this is an ad for. I'll also, one last thing, I will also mention finding things in walls. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the podcast. Actually, maybe I should. I'll protect the innocent. I know where a gun wrapped in an oilcloth is hidden in a wall in a house somewhere in Winnipeg. That was found
still
by
there?
It was found originally by the people who lived there when they were redoing, and it was not the greatest part of town. And their neighbors all around them were pretty nervous and seemed very interested that they were redoing the basement. So they decided not to mention they had found it. And they bricked it back up where they had found it, and then passed that information to the new owners of the house, who then confirmed it was there with a metal detector. And then they have been wondering recently what to do with it because they're planning to sell the house again. And,
I would totally dig that thing up.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
But there's this that's going on 80 years now that this it's like can't be used, but it's very likely.
Was it used?
Or used in a crime?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, it's very likely.
That's very
used in a
cool.
crime.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, but I'm writing a short story about it right now. That gun in the wall that I'm sure in my short story was used to kill a supernatural creature.
And it's going to be used again at the end of the story.
At the end of the story, we Chekhov's gun.
Yeah,
right.
Cool.
Yeah. So if you have hidden something in the wall of a house or a basement, we would like to hear from you at Super Pulp Science. Please leave a comment below. If you think it's a good idea for us to leave creepy tomes and lexicons in the places we stay, please leave a comment below. And if you have found a creepy book or lexicon, I don't think it was us because we haven't been doing it that long. So watch out. The things are coming for you. This has been Super Pulp Science. This is Gregory Kamichik encouraging you all to join the fight and make comics.